but I think today I nailed it. Today is episode number 6 of the Songwriter Shop Talk. I'm excited today because today I have a special guest. I have somebody from the land of Down Under joining me on the show. We're going to talk songs. We're going to talk life. We're going to talk about music. And just whatever happens. You know, I've said a few times that I am the man of the no plan. It's just whatever we want to talk about, we're going to talk about. So I actually noticed Trevor, and I'm going to bring him live on air just now with me. So he's officially live on air, and he's still muted though. There is going to be nuggets, Clay. Don't worry. There is going to be nuggets. But I first noticed Trevor because he was one of the people that placed on the open mic competition. Some of you guys know I am fortunate to be one of the judges. I am one of the guys that gets to listen to a bunch of music every single week from all over the world. And Trevor had an amazing entry that I really enjoyed. And I intend to play his song later on today or make him play it. I haven't decided. But that is kind of how he got on the radar. And we've been talking a little bit, chatting here and there. And I told him, hey, you got to come to the show. We got to do this. So that's why he is here. So Trevor, are you, I think, yeah, you're not muted. So you can go ahead and say hi, Trevor, to the world. We are recording. So
hey, how you going, everyone?
Know that everything you say can and will be used against your own defense.
No! I'm in trouble.
Well, you're sounding fine to me, but if the volume is low, guys, let me know so I can increase his volume a little bit. We were trying to figure out if the guitar volume was going to be fine because he might do a couple of live songs on the radio. We're going to do some live radio, of course. There might be some mistakes. There might be something kind of crazy happening today, but who cares? It's live radio. We're here to have some fun. I am today. I don't know why, but Crystal is not here today. Hopefully, she will join me later. Normally, Crystal joins me on the show and we chit chat. But maybe she's got other stuff happening today, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyways, Trevor, you are here, so tell me, bro. Tell me about you. Here's the first question I want to ask. Okay. How is it that you found Steam and you started to put music on here? How long have you been on the platform? How long have you been sharing your songs on Steam?
I found Steam in about September last year, and I was put onto it from a podcast that I listened to. It just came up in conversation, and I decided to see what it was all about. And I didn't quite get it, and I'm not sure I still do. I feel like an old man whenever I try and navigate my way around Steam and try and understand it. But I'm enjoying the process. Look, I didn't really know what I'd use the platform for, to be honest, or I'm not sure I still do. But I stumbled across the open mic within, I reckon, the first couple of days that I was sort of sniffing around on Steam, and I was just blown away, and I thought this is a really cool and positive platform, and I want to put some of my music on here, so I started doing that.
Well, that's kind of, I think that's pretty much the story of a lot of us, right? Like we get on the Steam platform, all of a sudden we see this little devil avatar doing his rounds, and we're like, what is this open mic thing? Then we put it.
Can I trust this little red devil?
Yeah, can I trust this? What is this? And then next thing you know, it turns out the little red devil is like the friendliest little devil ever, and the community of the open mic is as friendly as it gets. So yeah, it is kind of how that happens. Yeah. So let me ask you this though. How long have you been a songwriter? I suspect that you didn't start September last year, of course.
No. So I'll throw a few things out there. One, I've just turned 40. I have been doing this for a little while.
The big 40.
The big 40, yes.
It's all downhill from here, brother. I don't mean to be dramatic. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Mate, I hope it's uphill. I'm in trouble if it's downhill.
I'm messing with you. We were joking about this earlier, so that I couldn't resist. So you just turned 40, but you've been songwriting for what?
Yeah,
For
look,
like,
I picked up a guitar when I was about 12. I found my dad's guitar in a cupboard. My parents had split before that, and I found it in a cupboard. It was strung left-handed, and it had a really cool guitar strap on it, a 70s guitar strap that's this sort of multicolored paisley green and red
what?
sort of thing, and that's still the same guitar strap I use now.
You're kidding me. Well, you guys share a picture now.
It's looking pretty dodgy. Yeah, I will have to get a picture. Actually, I'll see if I can do that. It's looking pretty. I'll wait until you're playing a song and I'll take a picture of it. But
Yeah, you have to now. You have to. Like, when somebody tells me it's a strap from the 70s, like that's just them telling me, hey, I'm going to show you the strap because
yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So I need to see it. Now, if you tell me it's a strap from the 60s, I can actually picture that one because I imagine all these like crazy colors, hippie era, Woodstock. But you tell me 70s, I have no clue.
Right. No, we'll get a picture up there before this is over. So anyway, look, I did guitar lessons for a little bit in high school, and I got really bored with it, and I just started working stuff out for myself, and never really got into playing other people's songs aside from I learnt a fair bit of Beatles and Rolling Stone stuff when I was doing lessons. And
so you were a music teacher too?
No. I have done some beginner guitar lessons with kids, but I don't do that anymore.
Okay. And then,
but yeah,
you're saying something, and I agree with that. Is saying that you didn't find the guitar found you. I have a theory, and of course I could be completely tripping. I do think that instruments kind of choose us, and the reason why I say this is because if you would ask me, you said, hey Menno, so what is the instrument you would want to play? I would tell you piano, right?
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, it's like
I wish I stuck at piano.
I suck at piano. Yeah, but like if you tell me which instrument you would be, like if I could be proficient at one instrument, it would be piano, because that way I could do all the arrangements for everything. I could be like, hey dude, come here. All right, this is what you're gonna do right here. Okay, this is your chords. Okay, you do. Come here. All right. It would be great, but I suck at piano. I'm terrible at it. And when I found the bass, because that's my instrument, it fit like a glove. It's all of a sudden like, okay, so, oh wow, all right, it's hard to eat the vegetables, it's hard to eat, but this is pizza. I can eat pizza all day, no problem. And I've been playing bass ever since. And to me, that instrument is the one that makes the most sense in my head. I'm very rhythmic, but I can't think so much in chords and inversions and all this stuff. So for some people, that's completely like natural. My little brother, who was actually, he's not little, but I call him little. He's on the audience right now. And it's funny. I'll share something with you. It's really funny because every time I would write a song, I'm very basic on guitar. You kick my butt. Everybody kicks my butt on guitar. I'm basic. But of course, I write songs, so I have to use a guitar. And my brother, I would send him a song. Like, I would send Betty a song of mine. Be like, hey, listen, I worked out the song. And Betty would look at it, and he would be like, or listen to it, really. And he'll be like, all right, yeah, you're doing this chord, and then you're going to the fifth, and then you're going back to the third. You know what I would do? I would do a replacement of the third chord, and I would do a third inversion, and then I would replace it with the ninth, and then add a 13th, and then you could have, and like, get the hell out of here with that crap. I don't know what you're talking about.
It sounds like some of the discussions we have at rehearsal when the rest of the band start picking my songs apart. But largely they say to me, how come the chorus and the verse have the same chords? And I'm like, they're not the same. I'm playing different things. They're like, yeah, they're totally the same chords.
Yeah, you know what? I think there is something valuable about not knowing what the hell you're doing. And I know that sounds like I'm being crazy. What do you mean, man? No, like you're saying ignorance is good. What I'm saying is this, okay? And somebody can disagree with me, and that's fine. But sometimes, because we have these rules, we get so much knowledge on music, we go like, all right, so the family of chords is a blah, blah, blah. And it becomes so strict, so rigid, right? And all of a sudden, you're writing a song, and instead of you letting it flow, you know what I mean? Like, instead of you saying, okay, this is what I'm feeling right now. Yeah, I'm crying. Here you go. Here's my freaking G major. Love it, hate it. I don't care. This is me. you're thinking to yourself, well, G major is the first, that's a first inversion, and that's pretty lame. So I'm going to do a third inversion of the G, and then I want to do a Mixolydian scale on this, so maybe I'll just play in C. No, what is that? That's not music. So,
no, I'm totally with you, man. I like being limited by my lack of knowledge or lack of understanding.
Yeah, I love the fact that I don't know so many things regarding music, just for the sake of not letting that rule my songwriting. Now, that being said, I do know enough to figure out eventually. So, like, if I get stuck, like if I'm writing something, and I'm like, oh my God, what is that chord I'm looking for? I can go back and see, okay, this is the scale, maybe this is what it is, and then I figure it out. But to just write with theory, I find that to be, I don't know, so computer-like, right? Don't you?
Yeah, it's a good theory.
Yeah. But anyways,
I don't like it in practice.
Exactly. Anyways, let's do this. I told you that today there's a song. I have a request. Okay, we're gonna try to play at least 2 or 3 songs tonight. No, I would say 3 the minimum. 4 would be awesome, but at least 3, right? But I do have a request, so you can play the other ones. You can choose this one. If I can tell you which one I want to hear. The song that you placed with on the open mic event was a song that you wrote for your now wife when you guys were still dating, right?
Yeah, Little Bird. Yeah.
Little Bird. Beautiful song. I thought it was awesome. I love it. It's actually one of my favorite tracks. One of my favorite tracks on the open mic ever. Like, that's how much I like it. And
I don't know if you've read my comments on that song after I posted it and shared it on Steam, but I had practically given up on playing that song and had decided that people don't actually really like it.
What are you talking about, bro? No.
I don't know. I just it never really worked live. It never got much of a reaction, and I think maybe it was just a little bit too intimate or quiet or something for live performance. But I've just been blown away by the feedback on that song.
You know what it could be. You know what it could be is like all people, right? And this is not just like Americans. I even though I can only speak for Americans, but it might be a worldwide thing. All people like to pretend they're rough, like they're tough. So when I would go up on stage and because the music I do, I don't know. I hate saying this, but it's just the truth. The music I do is kind of depressing. I don't write when I'm happy. I can't even look at a guitar when I'm happy. It's got to be when I'm down. You know what I mean? When it
too busy being happy, man.
Yeah, like if I'm happy, then the guitar, it doesn't need to come out of the case. I don't need self-therapy. But if I'm down, like if there's something that's just like pummeling me down and I feel like, oh my God, I'm not gonna survive, then I grab the guitar and I'm like, all right, let's figure this out. Let's see what's going on in my head, and let me work through these emotions. And that's when the songs come out. And what's funny about this is that I don't even like happy music. Like, somebody could say, oh yeah, this is great. Look at the chords, look at the 13. So I don't care. It's happy. I don't like it. Make me feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am ridiculous. I have to admit.
I'm totally with you. Look, guitar and songwriting has absolutely been one of my methods of therapy, without a doubt. I tend to pick it up more often when I'm unhappy than when I'm happy, for sure.
Yeah, like I said, I can't relate to happy music, and it's not because I'm a nihilist. It's not really it. I say I draw from sadness to find hope, and I love hope. That's like my favorite emotion, right? If that is an emotion, I don't know what that is. But I love hope. I love the thing. Okay, here's a thing. It's a painful thing, but here is what could happen if I walk forward. This is what could be, and that thirst of a future is my drive. But when everything's good, who cares? I don't want to hear it. Get out of here with those major chords. I don't want to hear it. Give me some minors,
I love it. Yeah, for sure. I love. Look, I've largely written what I'm sure a lot of people would describe as depressing music, but I do like to throw a few little, bright elements in there, give that sort of small glimmer of hope that it's
There
not
you go.
all, going
Yeah,
to fall
but see,
apart.
you used a key word right there, brother. Glimmer. It's like it's like adding pepper. Yeah, you gotta add pepper, but don't get crazy. You know what I mean? A glimmer of hope. That's how you do it. Now,
Yeah, nice.
because
But I do like a lot of pepper.
but not on music, man. You can't add too much pepper to the music. All right, bro. So here's what I'm gonna mute my microphone because this is the ninja plan. You're gonna play the Little Bird song for me, and then the rest you can pick. But this is the one that I really enjoyed. I love the story behind it. So I'm gonna mute my microphone. You have to introduce it a little bit. Tell us why you wrote it. What's the plan? What was the plan? What was going through your head when you wrote it? And then go ahead and play.
Yeah, I've just got a photo of that guitar strap up there, by the way. But I started writing this because I was working in Melbourne, which probably doesn't mean a lot to most people here. But so I live about 2 hours north of Melbourne in a country town or a regional city of 100,000 people. And I was working 3 days or sort of 4 days in Melbourne, coming back to Bendigo on the weekends. I did that for too long, and I was living in a hotel. Work were putting me up in a hotel at the time, and it was when my now wife and I had just started dating, and she'd pop in for little visits every now and then, um, and they were never long enough. Um, and I spend a lot of time just in that hotel room by myself with my guitar or with a pen and paper, and nutted out quite a few songs at the time actually, and Little Bird was one of them. And it's largely about it's largely about those little visits. I've just seen the spider web version of my guitar strap. That's awesome. Nice. Um, yeah, cool. Is it coming through all right? We'll give that. Cool. Come to me, sing to me, play with me, stay with me. I'd love to be your friend. Walk with me, talk to me, fly up so high with me. I'd like to be your friend. But don't think about tomorrow. Just let it slip from your mind. And don't think about tomorrow, so we can enjoy our time. Little bird, little bird, build your nest near me so I can see you clearly. Your eyes bring a smile to my face. Build your nest carefully with love so tenderly. I like having you by my side. But don't think about tomorrow. Just let it slip from your mind. And don't think about tomorrow, so we can enjoy our time. Little bird, little bird, Come to me, sing to me, play with me, stay with me. Walk with me, talk to me, fly up so high with me. But don't think about tomorrow. Just let it slip from your mind. And don't think about tomorrow, so we can enjoy our time. Little bird, little bird, little bird, little bird, little bird, little bird, little bird.
It's a beautiful song, man. I don't know why somebody would not react to it. If I was in the audience and somebody plays something like that, that would be the one to make me react. Not if you do, Freebird.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, and I'm using that kind of like a little play on words there. It's a great song, man. It's a great song. It's so sincere. And here's what I am going to speculate. Okay? Complete speculation. But here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say when you wrote that song, she cried. Am I right? Or am I right? No.
I'm not entirely sure, actually.
What?
Yeah, I think she probably just analysed all the bits that she didn't like about it. It's a good song.
Don't tell me. She was like, hey, you know what? That was a good song, but the third chord, I think you should have done the second inversion.
That's more like it.
Nah. No way. I'm going to ask you something because I've noticed something about your blog, and I think this has to do with a life philosophy of yours.
Oh, my blog is all over the place, man.
No, but that's good. That's a good thing. I honestly think, and this is my opinion, of course, but I honestly think that people want to know people, and what I mean by that is like a lot of the Steamians, when they get on here, they start to try to say, okay, what label am I going to wear? And they will pick a label. They'll say, okay, I'm going to be the crypto analyst. And they'll put that label on and say, let me make sure my blog is true to the crypto analytics because of nah, man. Like that, honest to me, that doesn't work. I want to know the person. I want the blog to be my way of walking into your house, and saying, okay, so who is this person here? Okay, this is what this person.
You'll get that with my blog, yeah. That's for sure. It's
exactly,
and it's not at all regular. It's a bit all over the place, and it depends very much on what's going on in my life, and my personal life gets horrendously busy sometimes. I do far too much and spread myself too thin across too many things, but. Yeah, look, I try and make as much time as I can for Steamer, and I really do wish I could get on there and blog more often, actually.
Well, you do seem like a busy guy, because, when I was trying to not text you, but Discord, send you some messages, it took like a little while to respond, and then you told me that you had a 9 to 5, and I'm not putting that down, of course. We all need jobs, we all need to pay the bills, but I was like, oh, okay, this, makes sense. He has a strict schedule, and that's why it becomes... I forget, because a lot of Steamians, and I'm one of them, we do this too much. I'm almost like you can reach me almost 24/7, and maybe that's not healthy, but I don't care. But other people, they do stuff outside of Steam. Lately, this is all I'm doing, man. I'm doing Steam all the time. I don't know if that's a good thing. Like I just said, I'm not recommending you do that, but that is what I'm currently doing. So
yeah. I always reckon keep doing whatever's working for you, and if you enjoy it and it's working for you, then I reckon stick at it.
I agree. But Okay, so speaking about your blog, I noticed something and I wanted to ask you what that is all about. You do these little posts, they're not too long, about feeling grateful. It's like a post about being grateful about something. And I wanted
Yep.
to ask
Yep.
you how that came about. How did you find? Because, by the way, I agree with you 100%. Okay, so I'm not. I know. I think I know. I'm going to speculate again. I think I know where you're coming from. Okay, but I want to hear it from you. How did you start doing those little posts, or where did you find that philosophy of life?
Yeah, I've read a number of books about spirituality and happiness, the law of attraction. I'm very good at reading half a book and not getting
Oh, have a book,
to
yeah.
the end of it, but I generally have far too many on the go to be able to concentrate on the one that I'm actually reading. But look, I I have a history of depression. I suffered from depression really for probably about 10 years, um, and I was an alcoholic there for a little while. It really affected my entire life, and I have reprogrammed my brain over the last 10 years to try and think very differently and to try and concentrate on the good things in life and push away any of the destructive thoughts. And one of the ways I like to do that is by every day, and we often do it at the dinner table. Actually, we all come up with one or two things that were our thing that we were grateful for that day, and it really can be anything.
You know, I'm with you 100%. I'm following you on that train of thought so much. You have no idea. Because I am. If somebody doesn't know me, they might think I'm like this happy go lucky guy all the time. And that is kind of true in a sense that I'm always trying to be the positive person. Always trying to be the positive force. But that
Yeah,
is only because I know the power of positivity. You know what I mean? It's not
yeah,
because I am unaware of the terrible things. It's not because I was just having this conversation, by the way, with my girl, like 20 minutes before we got on air, about how it is important to know that life can be unfair, in a sense that when you are aware of that fact, you can remove the guilt of understanding those things. And what I mean by that is this: bad things happen to good people, and when bad things happen to you, right, it does not mean you're not a good person anymore.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Totally with you there. Oh, I've been hearing everything you're saying, but it looks like a few people have lost the words, lost the sound.
yeah, I am still streaming. We're still recording, so even though they might not hear us, we can still talk. So we're gonna wait for a second till it comes back. But because it is
Oh,
recording,
Pitchy's copping all the blame. Oh, come on.
what's important? Uh, his audio moving. I need to know. Yep. Is it also down on Twitch? Is it down on Twitch? Okay. Rondon is being a jerk. We have the way that this system works is that we stream to the radio, so there's like a server, I think somewhere in Europe, and then that sends the signal back to a robot, like the little bot that's inside this room, and then people hear it. So there's even a delay in between the time that we send the audio, the time that it plays on the radio itself,
Yep,
and
yep.
and the time that people hear it in this room. That's why you see people reacting a little bit late, is because of that delay. But I want to
It's
continue this.
probably Windows updates.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So continue.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm not gonna stop the recording, but here's well, since right now nobody else can hear us, it's just me. Let me ask you something. Well, it's gonna go in the recording, so they're gonna hear it online. Do you feel comfortable doing at least 3 more songs tonight? You got 3 more?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, not a problem.
You know, one of the things that we have to do, brother, and I say we because I got to get on the ball too, is musicians that can perform live, meaning play instruments and sing and all that stuff. We got to get ourselves on D Live, man. That is the future. I'm telling you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I keep meaning to check that out, and I haven't quite got there yet. And I want to try and get the sound on my system here working in a way that I can actually use some of the gear. I'm sitting in a pretty good studio, and I'm playing guitar through a Logitech headset.
I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I only know of one current musician that is using D Live. She's actually in the audience. This lovely lady, super talented singer songwriter, and it's working out great for her because the interaction, that thing that we get when we got sound again. Awesome.
Hey,
it's my stream. It can't be my stream, Ron, because I don't have any drop frames. Main server solid. So can you everybody hear me now? Okay, Ron. I guess he's pulling us live again. This is gonna be well. You know what? I've never had a show without technical difficulties. It hasn't happened yet. So this is just.
Did I see earlier? You mentioned something about Open Broadcast Studio.
It's frozen. Right. Yeah, I'm just trying to see. I might have to edit this part out because we're down for an extended amount of time. Yeah, I just might do that.
Yeah, cool.
Do. You guys can hear me now? It's working? When we get confirmation it's working. We were having such a great conversation, man. And then guess what happened, bro? Guess what happened? Murphy. How does that rule go? Yeah, if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. That's exactly what happened right now. So and funny thing, remember what I said earlier today that my brother was the one in charge of the board today, and I was kind of a little nervous. I was like, okay, he's gonna mess it up, and he was doing so good. And then what happened? Murphy's Law, my brother. No, I'm sure he didn't do anything wrong. I'm broadcasting from a pocket watch. I could be, Clay. That is true. But listen. Let's go back to that conversation because I really wanted to say something about this life philosophy. We were talking earlier. I was talking with my girl about nihilism. Do you know what that is?
No.
Nihilism is when you a nihilist is somebody who thinks there's no meaning to life. Somebody that is like, there's no purpose. Screw that. Who cares? Like there's absolutely no reason why you should do that because nothing matters. That's a nihilist. And then And then, of course, that mentality, we see it as a negative mentality, and it is, in a sense, because, I don't believe, and I hope you don't either, that there is such a thing as nothing of importance in this life. However, there are good things to draw from a nihilist perspective, and that's why it's kind of complicated, because especially for people that are overly sensitive, which is obviously my case and your case as well, we struggle with it. And sometimes when we fall into depression and we write these emotional songs, it is our way of understanding this negative side, this negative aspect of life.
Yeah.
So
it almost it's almost a bit like we were saying earlier about our lack of understanding of music and how that gives us a strength of sorts in our songwriting. I can sort of see it, draw a bit of a parallel to that, and I can get if you're not limited by beliefs that this must happen or that will happen or that happen for this reason. There's probably an element of freedom to that, but it just doesn't resonate with me. I'm more of a my personal belief is there's a universal energy that's in all things that we can draw on, and in some respects that's where I feel like my songs come from. I very rarely sit down and intentionally write a song. I'll generally just randomly pick up the guitar and start strumming away, and then all of a sudden there's words coming out of my mouth, and half an hour later, oh shit, there's a song.
I'm with you. But here's my point, and why I'm talking about this nihilism. I see D-Flow saying like, oh, it's kind of liberating, and I get that. I guess you could say, I get the good of being a nihilist. That sounds like completely contradictory, right? But because if you were to say, okay, nothing means nothing, then yeah, you can free yourself from any guilt. It's kind of like, yeah, my situation is crap. Who cares? Not my fault. So the release of that guilt, the release of the responsibility of your situation, does have a way of liberating you. However, just like you said, is that really healthy in a sense that do you dig yourself into that mindset? Do you go all the way down there to all of a sudden you lose all the drive to do anything, and that's the danger. So
yeah,
for me, music, and I sense it is the same for you, it is a way of me realizing that other side of the coin, realizing that even though I don't have control over so many things that happen in my life that I don't like, so many things that make me sad, so many things that, that just break my heart, even though I have no control, I recognize they are there, and here I am ready to fight against these things for my own well-being and for the purpose that I think I have. And who gave me that purpose? I gave it to myself. This is what I wanted to do with my life. This is where I wanted to go. This is what makes me happy. But understanding that...
Totally with you. Yep.
Yeah, it's like understanding that when bad things happen, it does not mean I'm a bad person. That is actually powerful. You know what I mean? Because I remember, I don't know if you were ever there, in my deepest moments of depression, I remember thinking, why does this happen to me? As if it was my fault that, all of a sudden somebody stole money from me, because that's happened to me a few times. And I think I'm learning. I'm learning to be a little more distrusting. But, that waking up to that fact, it is powerful. But at the same time, using it as a I guess you could say, a ramp to push yourself forward and say, okay, yeah, I realize this is shit, but this is how I'm dealing with it. This is how I'm going to fight. This is going to pull through. And here's my song, how I understood it.
Yeah, cool.
So Trevor, tell me, do you have like a pattern you do? Like every day you write like a grateful post I'm feeling grateful for? Is that
kind man, I wish I was that organized.
Oh, you and me.
I would love to, and that's something I was trying to do there for a while, and then life and cars and house stuff and all sorts of things got in the way. And I think I mentioned to you in one of our discussions, like one of our private chats, I was operating in 5-minute mode. And that's where I have this great big long list of things that should take about 5 minutes to do. And when I have that 5 minutes of spare time, I like try and knock something off the list. But the problem is that list of 5-minute things has blown out to, probably about a week or two's worth of things that I really need to do or would like to do.
Well, I think that's me too, man. There's so many. There's never enough hours in the day for everything I want to do, and that's the problem with me. I got my hands on all the cookie jars. I like to do so many things. I love helping people, and every day I feel like, oh my god, you know what I could have done? I could have done this, and now, but I'm too tired now, and I'm gonna go to bed. But every day it feels like that to me. So I hear you 100%. I think I got Crystal to come on air now. So Crystal, are you muted?
Hey,
I'm here.
yay! Hey, how you going?
Oh, I was a bit sick. I'm really sorry I missed the beginning. Sorry, guys. I literally was just passed out till past the day. So, yeah, that's a big sleep-in for me.
Oh, Crystal, you don't even know. We talked about altcoins. We know which ones are going to moon tomorrow, and I don't know if we can go back. We talked about so many things. You don't even know. But listen,
I
Crystal,
feel so bad for missing the beginning. I'm so sorry. Like, I was passed out, and Adam didn't realize I had this new show, and then he's seen it, and he's like, "Crystal, get up!" So yeah.
I think
Crystal,
you mostly just missed a whole lot of technical issues, actually.
Excellent.
Oh, that is true. We had
helping them.
We had a big technical issue.
Yeah, we were passed out for a little while as well.
I have a question for you, though, Crystal. Very important that you're here. What is a cobber?
A cobber?
Yeah, what is that?
I'm guessing a cop? I don't know.
Well, because
that's not one I'm familiar with.
I think he means as in "G'day, cobber."
Yeah. Is that like?
A friend.
Hey, there we go. She did it.
So here's the question for you guys. Since I don't know if you guys live close to each other, maybe not. Maybe it's like different cities. And I know Australia is gigantic.
I think we're in different states. Yeah.
Yeah. Australia is gigantic, really. Is there like different slang wherever you go, like crazy different slang? Kind of like the United States, people talk completely different on the other side?
Well, I mean, in Adelaide, they have this weird-ass accent, so there's that.
Yeah, they plant plants with branches on them in Adelaide, whereas here in Victoria, we plant plants with branches on them.
Yeah, I'm with you, Trevor. I don't know, like in Queensland, there's a lot of cursing.
And a lot of yeah and ahs.
I've been told, and Trevor, you're welcome to voice your opinion here on this subject, but I've been told that if an Australian doesn't cuss, he's not true Australian. That's what I've been told.
You're probably right there.
Aha! That's it, Cope. You've been outed. You are not a true. Because I tell you what, we have a.
I did hear him curse the other day when he was on After Hours with me.
Oh yeah,
I try my best.
Can't remember what it was. It's a problem. I have a problem. Okay, I swear way too much. It's punctuation for me now.
You know, I have to say something, and I'm gonna get both of you to give me your opinion on this because I thought this part was pretty awesome, and Nathan is also here in the audience right now. And just the cultural differences, right? Like how different are we? We speak the same language, you know, we all have accents or whatever. I have a terrible accent myself, but culturally we can be so different. Nathan was talking the other day about how people deal with compliments in Australia and how...
we're shit at it. We're so bad at taking compliments.
We think everyone's taking the piss. We think everyone's out for a laugh at your expense, and there is very much a guard up.
Yeah. So were you there when Nathan was talking about this, Crystal? Did you hear that or no?
Yeah, I did.
Well, you weren't here, Trevor. So I'm gonna tell you, and whoever wasn't listening. So Nathan is saying, because I guess at some point in time when he was touring, he came to the U.S., right? And he was saying that somebody in the U.S. came up to him and told him, "Hey man, that was awesome." And his reply to it, and it has to do with the cultural differences, I guess, from Australia and the United States. He wasn't in a bad mood. He wasn't having a bad day or nothing. His reply was like, "No, man, it was shit," or something like that. But because I guess in Australia, if somebody gives you a compliment, you got to put yourself down. You know, I guess that's the normal.
It does feel very much like that's the norm here. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You just feel like a bit of a cunt if you talk yourself up too. You're a bit
That's
full
how
of
you use
yourself.
the word properly. There we go.
That is so interesting to me because
I think that's the first time I've said cunt on air, though.
it might be actually, but she does cuss though. I have to say, like I'm the one that struggles, and you know it has to do with me remembering the flip flops of my mom flying through the air when I would say bad words. But I'll get over it one day. But speaking of this of this putting yourself down, I'm interested in this because I'm really trying to understand it. It's almost as if you were to accept the compliment, you would be putting yourself above them. Is that how it works?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah,
Like
I guess so. Yeah.
yeah. It's weird, man. It's really strongly ingrained in us too.
Yeah,
Especially
it's
after
almost like, you know, and anyone who does accept compliments, you know, in a positive way, and you know, puts themselves, you know, out there, you know, for public comment, and says that they're good at what they do is a shit bloke, you know. He's a terrible person. Like, oh, how dare you go out there and talk about how good you are. Like,
so there you go. So Trevor just showed the passport. He's like, "It's a shit bloke." Done. Here's the passport. True Aussie there. You know, well, of course, humbleness is important. You know, like obviously we should all try to be humble, but at the same time we also should be able to accept a compliment and smile. I'm not saying that if somebody was to tell me, "Hey," like I struggle with it too, I have to say. But if somebody says, "Hey man, I love your voice," my immediate reaction would never be, "Dude, whatever, bro. I sound like a freaking goat getting raped, man. Like, what are you talking about?" That wouldn't be my reaction ever. I would be like, "Oh, thank you. That's it. It's not like, oh my, yes, man. I am the. You know what? There's an alpha and there's an omega, and I'm both. You know, I would never say that. But you know, thank you. Is that like too weird? So.
Like, even saying thank you, I feel is weird here. Like, thank you is sort of like an acceptance of what they've been saying. It's sort of like the most I can sort of be okay with something is sort of like I look really weirded out, sort of like nod at them and move on really fucking fast. It just always feels fake. I don't know. I don't know if it's because kids are torturous little monsters here, but they torment you. They teach you young.
Yeah.
Don't ever let yourself be slightly above anyone else because they will cut you the fuck down.
Don't give anyone like an element of trust at all. Like, you know.
yeah. Guard your fucking
yourself
shit
up for
and be
failure
ready
if
to
you trust
take him on.
You know what? This is a beautiful moment to break into another song. What do you say? We're talking about. You know, it's funny. We went into the subject, and I'm like, "All right, Trevor, show us some romantic stuff, man." Right? This is how it's gonna work. But listen, no, this is gonna say a closing thought on this before we go. I want you to play more music, man. This is a music show, really. It's a songwriter show, so we want to hear more of your songs. But to closing thoughts on this, okay? I'm just gonna say my piece because I was not able to tell this to Nathan. I think, this is my opinion, I think that if you don't accept somebody else's compliment, you're also kind of telling them that they don't know what they're talking about. And that's the other side of the coin. And by that I'm saying, like, if somebody says to me, "Hey man, I love your song," and I said, "No, that song is the worst song I've ever written," I'm kind of saying, "Hey, by the way, what your taste in music is shit." You know, so if we think of it in that way... Maybe
I usually phrase it more like, "You're just trying to be nice to me. Fuck off."
Oh my god!
How dare they?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, don't you fucking pity me? Fuck you.
No, come on, no. You know, I say that.
Funny, but I do wonder if all of this ties into this underlying feeling I have that, you know, someone in a black suit is going to rock up one day and outs me for the complete fraud that I am. Like, that's, you know.
I feel that too.
You know, yeah.
No, man, we gotta change that. I'm gonna
Those
change. I'm gonna
outros.
change Australia. Yeah, right. I'm so delusional. I'm gonna change Australia. So delusional. But hey, Trevor.
I love you. I love your ideas.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's a great plan. I'm gonna start an ICO. Change Australia coin. Listen, Trevor. Pick a song. Sing us something else. You know, maybe like a little pick me up. I don't know if that's even possible at this point in time. He's like, no,
okay.
ooh, not that.
That's not what I was prepared for. But
No. Actually, you're like, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. You do you, bro. Like whatever you want to sing right now, go for it. Introduce your song.
Well,
Me and Chris are gonna get muted right now, so we're not gonna talk anymore. You're gonna go ahead and say, hey, this is my song, and this is what I want to do, and bam, you go for it.
You're gonna kick ass.
All right, I'll play a longer one. We'll stop Menno talking for 4.5 minutes.
I am my brother. Whenever you're ready.
Crept up slowly, started well before you had noticed, and when it took shape, it hit you like a wave. You needed a break, but you got broken, needed to speak out. You got outspoken, you had no escape. 'Cause there was nowhere left to run. Now you're running out of ideas, and you're searching for ideas. It took you a long time to travel to where you wanted to be. It took you a lifetime to see it was just a falsity. You're just a contender. We'll never remember another contestant rushed out to see you even call. Or is it just a distant dream? Now you're running out of ideas, and you're searching for ideas. So when I come knock on your door, like I did the night before, will you let me in? Will you let me in? When I say goodbye tonight, will it be goodbye this time? Will you let me in? Will you let me in? So when I come knock on your door, like I did the night before, will you let me in? Will you let me in? When I say goodbye tonight, will it be goodbye this time? Will you let me in? Will you let me in? And when I say goodbye tonight, please just say goodbye this time. Just say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. 'Cause I'm running out of ideas, and I'm searching for ideas, and I'm running out of ideas, and I'm searching for ideas. Oh, now to say goodbye.
That's beautiful, mate.
Holy
Oh,
hell,
look
that was
out.
awesome.
I've been ousted for being a Paul Dempsey wannabe.
No, that's a great compliment. What are you talking about, man? That's a great compliment.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's awesome. Cheers.
You know what I was thinking of? Like I thought of, I thought of, I thought of Paul too. But the one that was coming to me, like even more so than Paul Dempsey to me, there's a song. Pitchy could probably help me. Pitchy, what is? Pitchy, can you hear me? What is? Who's the author of Everybody Wants You? You know what I'm talking about? It's escaping me right now. I'm having a tiny little bit of a brain fart. But there's a singer. He already passed away. He was brilliant guy. And he had maybe one or two albums, and then he passed away. And he had a bunch
Billy
of little
Squire?
demos. No.
No,
Jeff Buckley. That's the guy. Jeff
No.
Buckley.
Who?
Jeff Buckley.
Oh, right. Okay. I don't know that song by name, obviously.
Oh man, I gotta send you that song. But there's something about the way you project your voice. It's and I don't. The best way I can describe it is almost as if you're gonna break it, but you don't. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody. It's almost like
Yeah,
Is it
totally.
beautiful?
I used to blow out my voice all the time when I was playing in the alternative rock band that I played in for years, and I totally used to blow out my voice all the time. But I have learnt now how to hold back just a little.
no, but it gives a very emotive texture to it. Like I think that's why I connect to your singing. It's because of it. You know, I think Crystal agrees with me.
Absolutely. You have the most haunting tone and emotion in your voice. I absolutely love it.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Cheers.
It was like from the first time I heard you, I was just like, damn, this guy can sing. I can't speak, but you can sing.
I still reckon she's taking the piss.
Yeah, and Cope is saying
I
that
know,
you sound,
and you see, I can't.
yeah, like Dallas Green. I think is the name of the guy. City in Color. Yeah, that's a good comparison too. Have you ever heard of City in Color?
No.
No. Well, you know what? It's funny because I would have that happen to me too. Some people will say, "Man, like I know who you listen to," and they will give me a name, and I'll be like, "No, never heard of that." But what happens is that person that they told me was listening to a musician that I did like, so we're influenced by the same thing in a way, and that's the connection. So it could be it. But City in Color is awesome. You should really check it out. I think you would enjoy it as well.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, I'm gonna write.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
cool.
write some stuff down and give it to you at the end of the show because I think I'm gonna give you some musicians that you're gonna be like, oh my god, this is awesome. You can draw some inspiration.
Yeah, in all fairness, I kind of live under a rock. I don't listen to anywhere near enough music. Yeah, a little out of touch.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, it's funny how that happens, right?
I think honestly there's an issue in Australia with being able to access music, honestly. Like seriously. It's a lot better now with the internet getting improved in places.
Yeah.
But
Do you kind of mean like how commercial radio here never stopped playing the 80s and have only stopped playing since they started losing listeners to Spotify?
yes. Yes. I mean, if I have to listen to radio, I listen to 105 now. I used to love Nova, but they've gone to shit. Like everything's just going to shit here musically. And I don't know why, because we have a really active music scene if you can go out into said music scene. Like before kids, I was out every weekend at different clubs watching and helping bands and mates perform and stuff.
Yeah.
As soon as I had kids, couldn't go out, suddenly cut off from all music, and it was like, oh, it was deathly. And yeah, the CD shops and shit, they're just crap. It's just mainstream bullshit.
Yeah. Nathan has got a really awesome point here, and he says get out to some festivals and catch new artists, and he's totally right there.
Fully.
You know, we've got, and in fact, I'm wondering if Nathan has played at the Bendigo Blues and Roots Festival. Can you let me know if you have? Because I'm wondering if it's you that I saw a couple of years ago.
Was he doing a somersault while hanging from the ceiling fan and playing didgeridoo?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. On a unicycle on a tightrope.
Exactly, because that's what he was doing back then. He's calmed down now. He doesn't do unicycle.
Aren't there like some bush bashy festivals that might be up his alley as well? I can't think of their names. I know that everyone finds out about them. They drive out bush and they get fucked up in the trees and listen to music.
Yeah.
Like they're the best ones.
Sounds like my early 20s, really.
Exactly. That's what Australians do for fun. We get fucked up and go bush. But I think there was some down near Byron Bay and Nimbin, like the bush doofs. That's what I'm looking for. Bush doofs.
Bush doofs, yes. I have heard the term bush doofs. I haven't been to any, but
I haven't either. But that is definitely something I have to do before I kick. Like I need to go to a bush doof.
I'm just.
No idea what you guys are talking about.
It's
I can't even pretend.
Over 10 years since Nathan was in my neck of the woods, so it must have been a Nathan impersonator that we had here a couple of years ago.
Love it.
So bush doofs are some sort of events? Is that what we're talking about?
Basically, bush is just not in town. It's anywhere where there's some trees. That's bush, and doof is music. So bush doof.
I knew this was going to happen tonight. I even made a joke about it. Is like, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to have two Aussies on the radio, and then they're going to start using words, and then I'm just going to be like, okay, I don't know. Yeah, the conversation went somewhere, but I'm not there. He's like, yeah, man, we met at a bush doof. It was like, what is that?
I tone it down so much for everyone else. Like, seriously, when I first got on Steemit, when I tried to write comments to people, I'd find myself putting in Aussie slang, and then they'd be like, I have no idea what you're saying. And I'm like, oh shit.
It's like the first time
I did that.
Yeah. We've got the perfect comment here from Clayboy. He says it's where all the bogan cunts hang out. That's
so true.
You know, what's funny is I think it was either my first or second conversation with Crystal. She says, I love the Muso community. And I'm like, the Muso? And I'm thinking, because up until that day, I never heard that word. And I'm thinking Muso. Could it be muse? Right. Could it be inspiration? The inspiration community? But that's a male. So male, I just had to ask. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to pretend.
Music.
Yeah, but you said Muso.
Music.
So I'm like, the Musos. I'm like, what is that? Oh, HZ showed up.
Breaking everyone up into groups.
He's always showing up late lately, man. I don't know. I'm gonna have to start flagging HZ. He shows up late. But listen, let me ask you something else, Trevor. And this is just because it's gonna go on record. And I know you said some things already on the video, and I really wanted to hear it. I don't know what happened, but the audio was really low. I want to get your opinion on your experience with the open mic.
Oh, my video that I had to pull down because no one could hear it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It's almost as if there was some white noise that was killing your... Because I grabbed my headphones and I cranked them, and the white noise was too painful, and I could hear you talking there. But I was like, I don't know what went wrong with that one, but I did it just before going to bed, and I went upload, attach to the post. You got censored by the Illuminati.
And then I got up the next morning like, oh, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah, you got censored by Illuminati. But
true Aussie style.
Oh, yeah. But tell me, what's been your experience with the open mic, brother?
My experience with open mic is it's freaking awesome. To be, in all honesty, if I was to compare open mic to playing out live, I would say I've had a way more positive response from open mic than I have to going out and playing in pubs to 3 to 10 people. You know, I said in the video, which is no longer up, but I've been playing largely in pubs and cafes and things for nearly 20 years now, and I've done so many shit gigs in divey venues, and only played to the other musos that are playing on the night, and not got paid or been promised to get paid, and come away having bought dinner and drinks for the night, only to work out that I've travelled over here, so I've spent about $30 in fuel to get here. I've been paid 50. I've then spent about 60, on food and beer, and awesome. So I'm totally in the negative for this one.
Yeah, man.
No one's bought a CD, and it's just like
they never fucking buy CDs in Australia. Everyone downloads shit.
Well, nobody buys CDs. Like, what is that?
Just steal shit.
Well, I don't know about Australia, but we don't even have a CD store here anymore. There's no CD stores. There's nowhere you can go and buy CDs.
CD stores.
No, we don't
JB Hi-Fi and stuff sell CDs still.
Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think
even do.
I think all the CD stores closed down. I could be wrong. At least here in Florida, I haven't seen one. And
I think in Australia we're like a good 10 years behind you guys.
You guys are like
getting our shit together.
Hey, you just reminded me of something. Did you know?
There are people with VHS players still hooked up to their TVs.
No.
I shit you not. They're rare. They're getting rarer, but yeah, 100%.
These are those people that I refer to as the 12 o'clock flashes, because all of the technology in the house is flashing 12 o'clock.
Yep. So true.
You want to hear something hilarious? This is true, by the way. You can look it up. Like, somebody doesn't believe me, look it up. There is a Twitter account called The Last Blockbuster. Okay? It's supposed to be the last...
I saw a video about that. Like a little doco about it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I can't believe they made a doco about a fucking video store.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's hilarious because they put these tweets out saying, "Hey, don't go out this weekend. We got a special on the freaking candies and whatever." But it is hilarious. The Last Blockbuster. It's like the last bastion of the old technology. It's hilarious. But
there was a black Blockbuster down the street from me that only shut down like 2 years ago. So, we only just got rid of Blockbusters fully ourselves. Now, it was like an unused building painted Blockbuster, I think, at that stage. It had been shut down a year before that. But, yeah, no one even wanted to buy a building. So, stop pressing the button.
Nathan is saying that he actually does sell CDs. I believe Nathan does. And I'll tell you why. I believe him. But first of all, because I have no reason to think that he's a liar. In the U.S., you can sell CDs. You can do it, but people don't buy CDs because they play them. And I'm saying as somebody who has bought CDs before. Like, I went one time to see this guy, Jesse. Oh, it's escaping me right. This sax player is like a local dude. He's actually one of the like jazz legends. He's an animal. One of those dudes that like you don't know where he came from. He can sing at the same time that he plays the sax. One of those dudes. The guy's amazing. So I went to his show, got blown away, and as I'm walking out of the show, I see his wife, because a lot of musicians in the United States, and a lot of people don't know this, but you think they are famous, like, and they are. Like, you can find them freaking charting, you can find them in Spotify and all this stuff, but it doesn't mean they got money. It only means that they're known. And we have so many examples of musicians that are, that even though they're famous, they make the same as somebody that works in a restaurant. And that's a terrible thing, but it's a fact. And so this guy's one of them. And as I'm walking away, I see his wife selling CDs, and I'm thinking, yeah, give me one. I never played it because to me, the CD, I did play it the first time. The CD was not it. Like, I could not, the entertainment, the amazing performance I saw, the energy I received from this guy was not on the CD. And not to say the CD was recorded bad or nothing. It's just that, you know what I mean? It's almost like you just ate an amazing lasagna, and then somebody says, hey, you still hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry. Well, here you go. Have a little Cheez-It. No. It's not the same thing. Yeah, I like cheese, whatever, but you can't replace it. So, that's my opinion on that. Now, the bar scene in the U.S., I don't know how it is in Australia. It is disgusting. Like here, the musicians kind of have created the scenario of piranhaing the prices to where everybody will play for lower and play for cheaper or play for free, and you cannot make a living playing at a bar. In the United States, I don't think you can. It was my experience. I don't think you can.
I feel like venues did a lot of that here. My favourite local venue is a perfect example of that. It went from being the pub where all the uni students, used to go and listen to live music, and we'd go in there and play on a Tuesday night, and the place would be packed. You could hardly move. And then over the years, the younger crowd, stopped going to the pub and started going to the clubs instead to listen to the doof, doof, doof. And so the way the pub dealt with that was to stop paying the musos, stop giving them free drinks, stop offering a guarantee on how much they'd take. You'd be lucky if you got the a door charge or anything. And so they stopped providing quality entertainment because the only bands they would have on were the bands that would play for basically nothing. And so you started to get, like, instead of the bands coming up from Melbourne on tour on their way through somewhere else, you'd have the 17-year-old guys, and not to bag out young people playing live music. You've absolutely got to do that, and there's got to be an avenue to do that. But when that's all you're putting on every night that you're supposed to be providing entertainment as an owner of a venue, if that's all you're putting on is the guys that are green and aren't road ready, you just don't get the same people coming through the venue anymore. And it becomes it becomes more about the band that's playing on the night and how many friends they have, as opposed to the venue and people knowing that venue provides quality entertainment, so people go there regardless of who's playing.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that, man. Like, that was even so, like, a decade ago. I had a lot of friends, and there were a few clubs in Brisbane that would play them, but they treated them like shit. They wouldn't give them a cut of the door or a cut of the bar. They paid them fuck all. They didn't give them any help setting up or anything. They just had to do everything themselves. And when they were done, it's like, get the fuck out from behind our building. Your parking's up. Move the fuck on. Like, because we can charge for that parking for other people, like, at a really expensive rate. There's just no appreciation of the music. It's something that, like, they don't even see it as a service. It's like, oh, I have to do this. I guess I'll just get the cheapest I can. If they really want to be musicians, it won't be about the money. It's not like they need to eat or live.
Yeah, I love that one. It's about exposure, yeah? So I've always wondered that, how would a publican feel if you said, I'm going to bring 100 of my mates down. We're not going to pay for any beer, but it'll be great exposure for your venue.
Exactly. That is exactly the same thing.
They'd be like, no fucking way, man. Get the hell out of here.
And it's like, same back at you, bitch.
But
know what
so to get back to the question you asked, because I feel like we've probably got slightly off topic. You've got that, and then you've got Steam at Open Mic, where you put up a video and people give you a thumbs up and say awesome, incredible, inspiring things about the music that you've shared, and they. If you take just recently, I'm blanking on her name, Cara. I hope I'm getting that right. Put down some backing vocals on a song that I put up, and
that was so awesome.
And it just blew me away. Like never would have expected that in a million years. I honestly think the open mic community is just an incredible thing.
I agree with you 100%. That's why I love it so much. And here's the other point. It's like, of course we all want some money. If we got to pay the bills, and that makes perfect sense. And I'm not trying to point fingers at anybody who would tell me, no, I need to get paid. I get it 100%. But that is not all of it. I think for me, and maybe for a lot of other musicians, so I really just want people that care. People that really want to listen. Because I've played gigs, and more than once actually, where I still got paid, and I got paid what I was asked for, but nobody gave a shit what I was singing, and it didn't feel good. And I still would call it a shit gig, even though I didn't get stiffed. I got paid, but I was just playing to people that didn't give a shit I was there. So.
Yeah, it's got to be the right venue. Like, I think some people try and add live music to save their venue, but the problem is your venue's shit anyway. Adding some music is just going to make it loud and shit. Other places, they're just, people aren't interested. Like in Australia, going to a pub and trying to people are there to get shit-faced. Let's be honest. They're not there for the music. If they were there for the music, they'd be going to other venues where you are focused on the music and not getting shit-faced. Like, I think that's where the issue is. Like, you're trying to appeal to too many people at once and try and make money off all of them at once. And that includes the people you're trying to make work for you, singing and whatever.
There's nothing worse than a gig where nobody's listening. I've played a gig, and I shit you not, I played a gig. It was just me and an acoustic guitar. I used to do just gigs by myself. I've had a band for years. My brother is one of the guitar player, and the drummer. We probably had like 15 different drummers over a 7-year span when we were touring on all this stuff. And when Peche was here, he was playing in the band and all this stuff. But I played quite a few gigs by myself. Just because it wasn't paying too much. It was paying $80, $100, whatever, 2 hours. It would just be me. And one time I played a gig at this gallery where there was no stage, right? So they just put me in a corner and they put a microphone, a little speaker, and that's it. And I had a guy maybe 3 feet away from me, like right in front of me, 3 feet away from me, giving me his back, drinking a beer, talking to a chick. Talking to a chick,
it's just fucking rude. I'm sorry.
And I wanna just like kick him and be like, dude, get the fuck out of here! Like, I get it. You want to talk to a chick? Go for it. But like, I'm here. Like, goddamn.
Move away from the stage.
It was the weirdest thing. I hated that gig, and I got paid. But that's my point. Like, it's almost like venues have to be primed. They have to have the right environment, they have to be receptive, right? And which is why I think the open mic is special, because the people on the open mic, they get it. It's like, here we go. I'm being vulnerable. I'm sharing something that is personal. I'm sharing something that comes from the heart. And the people that are there, too, they have also lowered their guard. They said, okay, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to be vulnerable, too. I'm going to listen with vulnerability and accept you as you are. Embrace your humanity. Realize that even though you're singing a song about heartbreak, there's nothing wrong with that. And not only that, I like you now. Because you're human, you're flawed, and you're beautiful, just like me. That connection doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it doesn't happen in most places. Now, here's the other thing. You can also talk about like, oh no, but if you know how to do the show and all this stuff, yeah, that works sometimes. If you're doing cover bands, like a lot of top 40 bands, they get away with it because they're piggyback riding on the fact that they're playing the hits that are currently on the radio. So like if you're a cover band, if you're not doing originals and you get up there and you start doing Despacito, you could probably have your guitar out of tune and it doesn't matter. There's going to be 4 or 5 people that are going to go, woo! Despacito! You know, and it has nothing to do with you. It's cultural bias. You know, so now when you're up there and you're doing your originals, different story.
Yeah. Look, I will throw a good news story in there of playing original music out live, though. Is a couple of years ago, a few fellow songwriters and I, we got together and we did a number of shows with the 4 of us up on stage together playing our original tunes. We called ourselves the Healers of Hurt, and we did a songwriter circle format. And so we would each take it in turns to play our songs, and we told the stories behind the songs.
I love that.
And we played in a couple of galleries, and so, you know, non-traditional venues, really. We played in a warehouse cafe. We played in a brewery. And you know, a few sort of random venues like that. We sort of, you know, rather than taking a venue that traditionally did music, we took all our gear there and turned it into a venue for the night. And we got an overwhelming response to that.
Because you set the environment, though. That's exactly it. You set the tone.
We absolutely we turned it into a space where it was okay for people to connect and feel the emotions of the songs, and we shared, you know, those stories and shared the feelings, you know, with the crowd, and they connected really, really well to it. And so I'm trying to get that happening again this year. I used to see what happens.
I hear you 100%. I used to have an event here in Florida, and I did it for like a year. It was called Songs and Thoughts, and I would invite 4 or 5 songwriters, and we would do exactly what you're describing, to where, because, you know, a songwriter to me is a storyteller. That and maybe somebody will disagree with me.
Absolutely, no, 100% with you there.
Yeah, to me, it's a storyteller.
Good songwriter.
Let's put it that way. A good songwriter is a storyteller. One of the reasons why I like Nathan's entry last week so much, because it was a story, and that's the thing. I want to be drawn in by the story, you know. And when we were doing the Songs and Thoughts, that was exactly the message. It was like, okay, here's the melody, here's the song, and all the stuff. But let me tell you what inspired it. Let me tell you what I was thinking when this came out of me, and then it made it so much more special, because it's almost as if you were able to tune into it. You know, like, all right, so what are we doing? 103.2. All right, that's what we're doing. All right, let me hear it. And then when the words come to you, at least this happens to me. I'm like, yes, man, I get it. You know, that must have been rough, or that was special, or that was beautiful, because I tuned in to your emotional frequency. If that makes any sense at all, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's so much easier to connect to a song when you know the story behind it. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. So I do it again, man. That's almost like a force against the current, you know, against the Despacitos of the world. Like nowadays, and I probably sound like an old man, you know. I don't care. I sound like an old man. Nowadays, the music is like all pre-canned. It's like, all right, so what are we doing right now? This is what we're doing. This is the beat, okay? That's the beat. That's what we're doing. And then, okay, what are we doing chord-wise? We're doing something that already somebody else did. We add all those elements that already worked, right? And then you sing something on top. And then what do? Let's sing about Mamacita. Let's sing about Mi Corazoncito. And all of a sudden that's a hit. I hate it so much because it's so fake. It's disgusting. Like nobody had an emotion. They were just trying to make this product. They was trying to make this fake sugar and shove it down my throat. Screw that. Reject it with passion. Don't want it. Don't care.
Look, there's a time and a place for some of that sort of music. It's not something I go and seek very often, but you know, I am guilty of you know, many years ago, being a little bit of a fan of Bewitched, which was a god awful Spice Girls wannabe band. And I don't know what it was about their music, but there was something that I used to chuck it on. It made me feel good, I guess.
I am hella guilty of listening to poppy bullshit and liking it. Don't get me wrong, but it has to be good poppy bullshit. You know what I mean? There are standards. I
Poppy
can't.
bullshit.
Yeah, like there can be good pop songs. I can't think of a fucking single one.
Oh, come on, you've got to give us an example of good poppy bullshit.
Well, Madonna.
Oh, come on. Madonna's got some classics. I mean, if you want to look at that, Kylie Minogue, some of her old ones that would just be atrocious if I listened to them.
But let's also consider, what are we calling pop, right? Because I think Duran Duran is brilliant, but that's pop, and like I think it's great, you know. But
this is where I get so fucked up is all the genres. Like I can't tell genres for hell. Like you got no fucking chance.
Crystal's got two categories: good poppy bullshit and
bad poppy bullshit. Yeah, and let me say Lady Gaga, because Philo just said Lady Gaga. I think Lady Gaga is an amazing musician. I hate the image. I hate the shock value to it. But I've seen her perform, just her and a piano, and I was like, man, why aren't you doing this? Why do you have to...
When I saw her perform Sound of Music, that sort of changed my view on her. She did a Julie Andrews tribute. And I was like, oh, shit, you actually have got some skills. Okay, good to know. She shits me off a little bit.
Yeah, well, Nathan just nailed it right there. It's like pop music used to be things that would catch on, that would become popular. Now it becomes a pre-produced, overly produced, fake BS, and that's exactly the problem.
Perfect.
I don't listen to the radio anymore. I can't. As a matter of fact, I am a weird musician because the only thing I listen to is talk radio. And that's funny, right? I'm supposed to be listening to tracks, but every time I'm like, all right, let's see what's on the radio. I regret it. I never not regret it. I'm always like, what is this? Oh my God, disgusting. What is this? Oh my God, disgusting. What is this? And like, I don't know if maybe
I totally do the same. Like I flick through all the channels and then I go, whatever.
Screw
local
that.
talkback radio.
And I have one for you. Sia, isn't she poppy? Like Sia. Australian singer Sia? You know Sia. Tell me you know Sia.
But I know Sia Coin.
Before.
Oh my God.
I got a little bit of Sia Coin. Yeah. Is that the crypto?
Well, no. Sia the singer. I can't believe you guys don't know her. She's an Aussie. She made it big. She has one hell of a fucking voice.
Is that the chick that covers her face?
Help me. Yes, the one with the big bow over her head. Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is with that. Yeah. I honestly I rejected her because of that.
She's a drug addict. She's a drug addict that didn't want fame to make her go back to drugs, was her excuse. I think it's a really good PR ploy to get people to listen to her music.
Oh, the Chandelier song.
Yes, Chandelier, like, that is pop that I can get behind because it's fucking challenged to sing. I have a pet peeve.
I have to confess to you guys something terrible. Okay, I have a pet peeve with I don't even know, with word metrics. Okay, they can really piss me off, and so that's why I can't listen to Chandelier. And what I mean by that is this: when a song, let's say I want to say, I'm just gonna make up something. Let's say let me pick Sia, she's really good, right? I want to say that Sia, she's really good, and I come up with a song. Sia, she's really good. Okay, but I need to fit it in a chord progression, and I need more syllables, right? This is from the songwriter's perspective. So I'll just say, Sia, she's really good. No, screw that. Like, don't Sia me, because that was a terrible extension. And that Chandelier song has that, and that's why I can't listen to it.
Yeah, it's a pet peeve of mine as well.
Then I would suggest checking out the one that I really like that feels really Aussie to me is Alive. She talks about being born in a thunderstorm and stuff, and I'm just like, it hit me. It's more gritty, and she actually wrote it for someone else, and I think that's why it works better, because it wasn't something she ever thought she'd perform. But Alive would have to be one of my up there favorites. And Passion Ground was in here, and is he leaving or is someone else leaving?
I think no, it was Zeleniac, something like that. I think he left. No, it's not Passion.
But Passion is in here, so hey, Passion.
Sia Coin, there you go. Cool. That's the singer.
Hey, Passion Ground.
Hey, listen.
I'm a big fan of that guy's work. I miss his open mic entries. That was in my my Voices of Open Mic post that is now no longer available. He's probably one of the few people that suffered through the white noise pain.
Passion is a riot. There's a video of Passion. I don't know if it's got to be online still. I doubt he deleted
I
it.
think
Where he does
Ronan
a
Keating is pop. Yes.
yeah, Keating is pop. Yeah. There's a video of Passion Ground doing a cover with a kitchen sink. This is true, 100%. He does a cover with a kitchen sink. It is a riot because I think that night he was having fun. He was hitting the hooch, but he's just a riot. I laughed my ass off with that video. I'm probably gonna try to find it and send it to you so you can get a kick out of it. But listen, I do want to get some more songs in because we're gonna run out of time. It always happens, and I don't want to just play a few songs. I want to do quite a few. I want to show Trevor's emotional repertoire. Let's put it that way. I like that. I'm gonna say that from now on. So Trevor, tell me, what other song are you gonna play? Give me something awesome, bro. By the way.
Yeah. Okay.
By the way, the last song that you played, if you have that on a recording or if you uploaded it already, please send it to me because that was amazing. I really liked that one too. So I'll remind you when we get off to send it to me. I want to listen to the produced idea.
Yeah, cool. I'm just trying to think. I'm actually not sure if that one ever got recorded, but I'll check it out for you. I'm going to play a song called "A Stranger to Wisdom," which I could go right into the depths of it, but it's really about that moment when you sort of have that realization that you've fucked up and you could be doing things a bit better. So it's called "A Stranger to Wisdom."
Awesome. Go for it, brother, whenever you're ready.
Once in a while, it's good for my health. And I'll search all the colors for dresses and where we went wrong. Sorry, my headset totally just took a dive. Let's try that again. Pick up the paper to bury myself. And once in a while, it's good for my health. And I'll search all the colors for dresses and where we went wrong. There's a tear on the sofa, we blame on the cut. We both know who's really at fault for the fact that we can't look past this trivial shit for 1 minute. And when I finally think that the chat is all dead, some useless memory enters my head. Reminds me that I've been in worse places before. When you said it's over, you said it's over. Well, I said tomorrow's another day. You said it's over. You said it's over. Well, I looked at you and smiled at you. Looked at you and I said tomorrow's another day. I took a ride on my steel horse to calibrate my tact. Make sense of all the nonsense I've been parading as fact. If I just tune out, will the all go and blow themselves away? I switch it off because I don't want these invaders in my home. Switch it on because I can't deal with this silence on my own. I guess there's good reason for saying that ignorance is bliss. When you said it's over, you said it's over. Well, I said tomorrow's another day. You said it's over. You said it's over. Well, I looked at you I smiled at you, looked at you, and I said, tomorrow's another day. So when tomorrow finally comes, I'll have wasted my chance. Stumbled on my 2 left feet and under this dance. Oh, you still love me just like you did yesterday. When you said it's over, you said it's over. When you said it's over, you said it's over. Well, I looked at you, you just frowned at me. I looked at you, yeah, you just frowned at me. Looked at you and I said, I love you.
That was kick-ass.
It's a brilliant composition, just like Crystal said. I thought
Cheers, thank you.
You do have that one recorded, right? You do have that one produced?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I released that on an EP last year. The EP is called The Beauty of Solitude, if you want to look it up. In fact, I reckon it's even on D-Sound.
Awesome. You know, can Petchy, can you do me a favor? Could you find Trevor's profile on Steam and share it in the chat? Everybody that's here, if you're liking the tunes, if you're enjoying Trevor's music, give him a follow. He's actually one of those newer Steamians that needs to find his tribe, and he's not that known, I have to say. Trevor, you deserve so many more followers, brother, because there's just a bunch of people missing out on their
Australia's
music
best
and
kept
stuff.
secret, mate.
Yeah, man. So that's kind of one of the missions of this particular show, because I feel like when we find, and I'm saying we, the judges of the open mic, when we find these little gems, out there, and like we want everybody to find them too. It's kind of like, hey, look at this.
Yeah, I can't yell enough about it. Seriously, I feel like I get a bit preachy to people because I'm like, you need to fucking listen to me. This will change your life.
I had an awesome comment that I'm going to share with you guys, but here in a second. One of the regular people from MSP made on the last post, and let me see if I can find it, and I'll share it here in the chat, regarding the top 5 entries that I had for my particular top 5. And even though her comment was kind of meant as a joke, there was a lot of truth to it, and I freaking loved it. Here, I'm gonna print screen it and share it on the chat because it was so awesome. And the reason why I also want to talk about this is because I believe that even though we call this a competition, even though it's supposed to be the open mic contest, it is not. Not in a sense, not in a traditional way. We're here to share. We're here to share music. We're here to share inspiration, and everybody's a winner. And I can't think of a contest out there that has that particular aspect where everybody wins, because not only do you get some upvotes, which is awesome, you get a little bit of steam, which is awesome, but you get to share your songs, you get to an audience that wants to hear you, and that is priceless, I'm sorry I interrupted you, Crystal. I kind of took the mic from you for a second, but I do want to.
It's all good. It's your show, bro. I'm just here to fill in the dead air.
No, not at all, Crystal. Don't ever say that again. I am going to.
I'm playing.
I am going to share this on the chat though, because I thought that was so awesome. This is not a contestant. This is somebody who decided to leave this on my top 5, and I agree with her. Check this out. So. Let me try to do this as fast as possible.
I get lots of comments from people who listen along but don't participate as well, and they'll often tell me their top 5 order. Like, no, you've done it wrong. This is what it should have been.
Oh yeah? They tell you that?
Yeah, like, well, they don't say those words, but it's like, I would have chosen these ones. Something is like, music is all up to individuals in the moment. Like what I love today, I may not love as much tomorrow. It's like Sound Legion wrote a post about it, and that we aren't the arbiters of everyone's success and stuff like that. But yeah, it's funny when people tell you their choices. What's this?
But look at this. This is so awesome. So I, of course, this is my top five, and this is a comment. I told her that this should be a post because I think you've seen her before. She's Breeze here on the chat. So she writes, in the most diverse artist and best showmanship category, the first place goes to Nathan K. In the best male love ballad category, the first place goes to Thomas Official. In the most beautifully written sad song I've ever heard category, the first place goes to Hating Angels. In the vocal clarity, brilliant, wide vocal range category, the first place goes to Chatham. And then the best female love ballad category, first place goes to Melissa Kelly. And I love that comment because exactly what we're talking about. It's like when we put ranks, when we say, okay, this person goes first, this person goes second, by no means I am saying this human being is better than somebody else, and that's a key distinction because, I mean, obviously I'm just an opinion, but I would never look at Nathan and say, even though I think Nathan's brilliant, I would say, Nathan, you know what? Yeah, you're like 10 times better than everybody else because I find his musical spirit, his musical message just as valid, just as important as all the other musos that are on this platform also sharing their soul.
Absolutely.
Super talent. Absolutely.
Exactly. See, Nathan nailed it. Don't be a cunt. Exactly. Spoken like a true poet right there, guys.
And that's just it. Like, music is different, and sometimes, like, I'll have an artist that I love everything they've done, and they'll put something out, and I'll be like, that just doesn't hit me the same way. Doesn't mean I don't like that artist anymore. It's just that one particular song didn't affect me in the way that they had intended. And music is so open and it taps into emotions, and sometimes I think it can push people away because they're not ready to confront those emotions and handle that feeling. And music's complex, people. It affects you in more ways than you realize.
People are complex.
People are complex. That's why music
Very
is complex.
true.
People are complex. And to be honest with you, I try to spread the love too. And what I mean by that is, if I see somebody who did an amazing song and put their heart out there, but let's just say that, and I say this, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but let's just say that they were pitchy a couple of times, but I could feel it. You know what I mean? Like the song touched me. Like the lyrics were amazing. I don't care. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we get so caught up on it has to be perfect, that we miss the beauty in the ugly. And I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody else, but when somebody puts himself out there and puts an amazing song and has the courage to just say, you know what, yeah, if this is me, I can appreciate that much more than this super polished, produced, 10,000 tracks. I harmonize with myself 5 times, and I don't know, I connect so much to it. So I try to spread the love in the sense that when somebody has been doing this super polished tracks, and I go like, yeah, that's good, but you know what I'm gonna do? I appreciate your entry. I appreciate what you did. It's great, but let me go over here with this person that was brave enough to be,
on the side of the street with a lot of background noise and gave it all of their energy and their heart and soul, and you could basically see the tears pouring down their face while they're doing
anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I will 100% be going for the less polished versions every time. Like, I'm just more attracted to them. I prefer it, and I want to know that it's you singing. I don't want to know you can run your voice through a machine and make yourself sound like you're singing in key. Anyone can do that. I want to hear you sing. And if your voice breaks from the emotion, fucking all the good, all the better, if you're so emotionally invested in the music you're doing that your voice fucks up, I'm not going to care that it sounds off for a moment while you're trying to regain composure. It's about sharing that passion and that emotion in that moment, and fuck the rest.
Yeah, and this is to say, the reason why I picked my number one entry last week, aside from the fact that that song was beautiful, was because she did have, with not in an Aussie style, but she did have that attitude. And I'm talking about Painting Angels at the end when she was going to share the song. She's like, you know what? Whatever. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And then she did the song and it was brilliant.
I so loved that song. Like at first when I heard her voice, I was a bit like, oh, okay, this is different. All right. And I added her to my shortlist. But when I came back, I'm like, I just have to keep listening to this over and over again. Like the emotion she conveyed just haunted me. Like I could not have picked it.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's also funny how that works, Trevor, because the week that I picked your song, aside from the fact that I really like it, well, obviously it's an amazing song, it was also as if, and I think I told you this already, maybe I didn't, it was almost as if you timed it perfectly. And I don't know if you did that on purpose. Yeah, because we're right
the
there.
Valentine's Day post.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a little bit sneaky, wasn't it?
Yeah, I do it, bro. So you got me because I'm like tuned into it. This is the week to feel grateful for the beautiful woman I have with me, for this relationship that we've been growing so long. So I'm in that. I'm tuned into that. Right. That's where I am mentally. And then you do the song, and I'm like, okay, yeah. This is the one.
Got me.
I got him, Crystal. Write this down.
Brilliant.
I got him. Listen, Trevor, we're almost approaching the end of the show, and I want you to sing one more if you don't mind, and then after we come back from that song, we'll do some closing thoughts, and we'll call it a night.
Yeah, cool. I didn't think of a third song yet.
Oh, did I really put you on the spot like that?
Spot.
What's that? Sorry.
Did I really put you on the spot with another song?
Yeah, you did just then. I wasn't quite prepared, but that's all right. Hang on.
Oh,
I really
I know that chord.
Yeah, I really like this song. It's one of my favourites.
Is it the one you did way back for open mic? The one that I first
quite possibly. I think I played.
I might have placed you on it.
Yeah, my first or second week, maybe, or maybe a little bit later than that. But it's called "The Beauty of Solitude." Yay. And it ties in with some of the things we've been talking about today, and it's about, I guess, being grateful for what you have and taking time to think about the things that you're grateful for. So, The Beauty of Solitude.
Awesome, brother.
I'll see if I can do this without my headset falling off this time.
Hey, I'm right for you to play this through again if you have a little hiccup, because I really like this song.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic. So whenever you're ready.
This emblem I've been wearing, it's got people staring. I hope they can't see through my charade, 'cause it's a pretty price I pay for living different lives, but night and day. I ain't sure it's gonna work out right. And all these thoughts I've been collecting just haven't been connecting. I get on and off and off and on the line. And I've been listening to the prophet, but I'm sure I still don't got it. I have the answers, but I just can't find the time. Take these lyrics I've been scratching into eggs that won't be hatching, and slam them in the faces of the youth. For all their instant gratification and all their shameless masturbation, they'll never understand the beauty of solitude. And all I really want is some silence from all this anger, hate, and violence. But I'm as much to blame as everybody else. And for all I've come to see and understand what burdens me, I've done nothing but simply get this off my chest. Will I fight? Will I fight for you? Will I fight? Will I fight for you? Will I fight? Will I fight for you? Will I fight? Oh, will I fight something new? This emblem I've been wearing, it's got people staring. I hope they can't see through my charade.
Oh my god.
Dude, this is my new favorite, bro.
I think
Thank
this
you.
has always been my favorite, and I mean that's super hard to say because I love so much of your music, but I know when the words to that and I'm singing along with you.
Yeah, man, this song is
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
yeah, the song is very special, man. Like it has all the emotions there, and the I got goosebumps, bro. I have to confess, I'm still looking at my arm right now. Towards the end, that was pretty awesome. That's
I
pretty
love it
awesome.
when music gives you a physical reaction. I love I wrote notes up further, so you might want to read those. But like, you've got like this minor tone change in your voice at a few moments, and it's just like, perfect. It's just exactly like that. That song is fucking perfection, man. Like seriously, I don't see what's sending it to someone else to try and make them polish what they do to that because
No, no.
there's nothing needed. Like that is just
I
fucking killer.
I
Oh,
say
that's
that
awesome. Thank
I say
you.
this jokingly, but kind of real. When the song is good, all you need is some chords and the truth, and that's it.
Mm. Oh,
Yeah,
and the emotion in the voice, though.
yeah,
God,
that's so
you
good.
have the most haunting voice, dude. I love it.
That was awesome, brother. That was awesome. Listen, we're
Oh,
almost
that's so
running out
real.
of
Thank you.
time. We're almost running out of time, and I do want to close by first of all thanking you for being here for doing this. I know that I think you had to take the day off of work or something to do this, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I'm always
Oh,
happy
thanks,
to be
mate.
back.
True Aussie.
But here's the deal,
Miss a
though.
day at work.
Here's the deal. I don't know if I told you. I've been saying it to everybody. I'm actually sending out the money that I make from the posts of the guests that I have. So I'm paying you because I don't want to be a hypocrite. It's like one of those venues that say, "No, listen, I'm giving you exposure." No, that's bullshit. I'm paying you. So when this post goes up, when it goes on Steam, whatever it pays out in Liquid SBD is yours to keep, because that's
Yeah,
my way
that's
of
wicked cool. I mean, I love what you're doing to support the musos, man. It's awesome. It's really cool.
yeah. Because
I should try and do that too. because I'm disorganized as fuck, but I could probably do a quick post
Betty,
and
I did send you the money.
help out a little bit, chip in.
Betty's saying that. Betty's saying that. Where's my money? I did send you money. Don't lie. The blockchain doesn't lie, so they'll see it. You guys can check. So that's my thing, guys. So whoever I invite to this show is getting paid. This is not free. I'm not one of those BS venues that is saying, "Hey, listen, man. What I'm doing this for you. You need the exposure." Yeah, of course. I want you to get exposed. I want more people to know your music, but I'm also paying you because I value your art. You know. So I'm not just saying that to win some brownie points. I mean it.
Before we finish, Trevor, are you feeling like doing another all-nighter on the weekend and joining us for Sounds of Steam again?
Sounds of Steam again. Ooh, that's cool.
It's this weekend.
I haven't even worked out what's happening after this show yet.
I'm with you on that, man.
Yeah, I could potentially do that. Which night are you doing that?
It's either, time zones. I think they're saying Saturday, so it might be our Sunday. I get so confused. I'll have to look that up and let you know.
For sure.
I struggle so much with that. I'm never going to get over the whole UTC thing. I get so confused. But anyways, guys, we're coming to an end.
That calendar thing you put in your post today was unreal. That's totally
that D-Flow did that. Oh, that made all the difference for me. And that's why I kind of...
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant.
I'm going to start sharing that from now on every time I do a post for the show, because I struggle so much trying to tell people what time the show is, and what she did is just brilliant. So everybody needs to get on that calendar. But listen, Trevor, because we only got 2 minutes, I want any closing thoughts you want to say? A shout out to somebody on Steam, and then after that happens, we're just going to call it a night. It doesn't mean we have to leave. I'm just going to stop the recording. And then we're probably going to move into pirate because there's enough people here that we could do pirate radio. But any closing thoughts, my brother?
I've said it a lot in a few of my posts, but I just have so much love and respect and thanks to everyone involved in open mic, and especially the judges who I honestly don't know how they go through all the entries and make time for that. I'm sure. They're just as busy as the rest of us, and it's an awesome effort that all of you put in every week. And all I can say is thank you to all of you for keeping this thing alive. It's unreal.
Well, you're welcome, brother. It's a pleasure for me, and I'm sure Crystal feels the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an honor to be able to get to hear you guys sing every week and call that a job.
It is kind of funny, right? It's like, my job is I try to find people I can help on Steam, and I listen to music on Steam. That's my That's kind of crazy.
And then I talk about the awesome stuff they make. That's my job. It's super awesome.
Well, anyways, guys, we're coming to a close of the show. Again, thank you so much, Trevor, for coming. Thank you, Crystal, for showing up. I love you. And I'm not going to give you a hard time, just a little bit, for being a little late. But it doesn't matter. I love you nonetheless. I'm happy you're here. Thank you, everybody who showed up to listen. Thank you, everybody who showed up to listen to the Songwriter Shop Talk. This is episode 6, and we're going to be doing this next week. And I still don't have a guest. I think it might be Daniel Dye. I have to confirm with him. But anyways, this is Menno. I am signing out. Love to you all.
Have a good one, guys.